Coming up next on CKX TV, why isn't Ron Thompson smiling? Well, we'll have the full weather forecast for you, plus news and sports today on Daybreak.
Don't miss the Minnedote Lions Club 4th Annual Antique Show and Sale on Sunday, June 9th. It takes place in the Minnedote Arena from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. with a great selection of antiques on hand. Come to the Fox Warren Leisure Center Anniversary Dinner, Sunday, June 2nd from 4:30 to 6:30. Cost is adults $5, children under 12 $3, and preschoolers get in free. For sale, one Norco Trike, seniors 3-wheel model. This bike is practically new, having run less than 5 miles. Call 825-2038 after 6 p.m. Don't miss the consignment auction sale and flea market on Saturday, June 1st at the Fox Warren Arena starting at 10 a.m. Table rental for the flea market is just $10. To book a table or to consign items for the auction, call Janice or Gail at 847-2176 or 847-2139. All proceeds go to the community playground. Shop the Hamiota Co-op this week for these terrific specials. Swift canned ham, 680 grams for $3.48. Mott's Clamato juice, 1.36 liters, case of 6 for $10.99, and assorted 2-liter Coca-Cola products for 98 cents each. That's the Hamiota Co-op in Hamiota and Cardale. Save 25% on all colonnades and 10% on all vitamins and herbs at the Kreitzer Clinic. They also offer recycling bins. Remember, there's free draws, monthly sales, and more only at the Kreitzer Clinic. Need that old tree cut down, cleaned up, and hauled away? For the fairest price in town, call Brandon Tree Fallers at 725-2318 and ask for Garth. There will be 50-yard and garage sales in and around Sandy Lake on Saturday, June 1st from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., rain or shine. For great food anytime, visit the Minnedote Motor Inn Monday to Saturday from 6 a.m. till 2 a.m. or Sunday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's the Minnedote Motor Inn in Minnedote. Ken's New and Used Furniture is looking for old wooden furniture like sideboards, washstands, tables, chairs, bookcases, and more. Phone Ken's New and Used Furniture at 727-2576. A reminder that every Tuesday is auction day at the Strathclair Auction Mart, featuring the regular sale with feeder cattle every week. For more information, call Barry at 365-5327 or 365-2582. Enjoy the nice weather ahead on a scooter or good used machine. For more information, contact Bill Hales at 728-7772. Hamiota Shop Easy is open Monday through Saturday. They remind you they are also open till 8 p.m. Thursday and Friday, and every Thursday is Family Day, where you can save 10% on regular priced groceries, produce, and packaged meats. Shop Hamiota Shop Easy, where it's easy to save money. Whether you're buying or selling, let Everything for Everybody help you. Everything for Everybody is a daily feature of CKX television, seen Monday through Friday just before noon. Deadline for receipt of announcements is 12 noon the day before. Announcements for the private section must be prepaid. Rates are $5.35 for 3 days and $1.07 for each day thereafter. Businesses may contact CKX at 728-1150 for business section rates.
Daybreak. Today on our show, summer is finally here and we can start enjoying some outdoor activities like swimming and hot tubbing and going in the pool. But before you do that, there's some things you need to know to keep yourself and your family safe. Plus, today on our show, all of us have had to deal with losing a loved one. We're going to talk about an organization that is keeping a close watch on us. Plus, our producer, Wanda Stellan, went shopping for a car and found a very interesting one. We'll show you later in the show. In sports, playoff action continues in both the NHL and the NBA. Bruce has a full highlight package for you at the bottom of the hour. And in news, grade 3 students are taking provincial exams today, but not everyone is happy with that. Louise will tell you that and much more today on Daybreak.
Wheat Belt Equipment Limited in Brandon, the new generation of Case IH dealers, is pleased to bring you this portion of the news.
Thanks
Thanks, Kathy, and good afternoon, everyone. Provincially funded agencies in Manitoba have been told they have to publicize the salaries of their top earners. The province says it is set to withhold 15% of its funding from any organization that doesn't comply with the proposed law to disclose all public sector salaries over $50,000 a year. Details of the proposed legislation show the Conservatives want the access to salaries to include doctors, social workers, municipal workers, university professors, teachers, and employers of Crown corporations. Premier Gary Filmon says the bill is designed to increase public accountability. And day one of exams is down, but there's still one more to go, at least for third graders here in Manitoba. They're writing provincial math tests this week, and as Francis Silvaggio reports, some parents say the tests are unfair.
Luke Lester is energetic, creative, and intelligent. The grade 3 student just doesn't like tests.
I just don't like them because they might be a bit hard for me.
That's why his mother has pulled him out of school for 2 days, while his fellow third graders write the province's standards math test.
I know for a fact there's been many studies that show this is not a measurement of a child's intelligence or proficiency in a particular subject area.
In fact, a number of parents won't let their children write this test. They feel it puts too much pressure on children and may not be fair to others. That's a concern shared by the principal of Mulvey School.
Inner city schools in particular, our students, our kids aren't on the same playing field, same level playing field. They're coming with more gaps in their learning, with more gaps in their school experiences, so they're not as prepared as in other schools.
But the province says the tests are important.
We hope that an early standards test, which is a fair test, it's reliable because it's based on the curriculum, there's no mark attached to it, so in that sense the stress level should be really low. We're going to give a profile to every parent against the strands of the mathematics curriculum.
The province says parents can use the information to help identify their children's weaknesses, and the school boards can identify weaknesses in their math programs. Luke's mom isn't convinced, but if her son misses the next standards test in grade 6, he'll lose more than 2 days of school and lose 25% of his final mark. Francis Silvaggio, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Well, school is a place where children can be taught their heritage or taught to forget it. Manitoba's Hutterites operate their own schools for that reason, but they are having trouble finding any teachers who are Hutterites and understand the culture. As John Webb reports now, Brandon University is helping fill the gap with classes that are the first of a kind here in North America.
Hutterite children belong to a separate culture. They attend their own schools, but rarely will you see them being taught by a Hutterian teacher. Hutterites have traditionally stayed away from university, so they've hired teachers from outside their colonies. But that's brought outside values into their schools as well.
There is some influence of the principles that we feel that we wanted to stay away from, but couldn't because of the teachers that came to teach in the colony. Not that the teachers were doing anything wrong per se.
This conference of Hutterian educators is hearing a Brandon University professor describe a possible solution to their dilemma.
It just was the right time for this to happen.
The university has created a separate teacher education program for Hutterian students like Francis Mendel. They have their own needs.
In the phys ed course that we took, there was a section in there on dance, which is something we don't do. So the professor was very willing to put that section out.
Behind this is the fact that Hutterian children are staying in school longer. Traditionally, they completed grade 8, then went into farming. But agriculture has become more technological and competitive.
As we went along in years, we continuously came across that our level of education wasn't enough what we were getting.
Which is part of why Manitoba Hutterites got in touch with Gordon Reimer and Brandon University.
I, in fact, apologized on behalf of the university for not having thought of this sooner. It was such an obvious good idea. And the response was, no, had you done this sooner, we would not have been ready.
The Faculty of Education will graduate the first class of Hutterian teachers in 3 years. Hutterite communities everywhere will be watching them closely to make sure that, among other things, they all return to jobs teaching in Hutterite colonies. In Brandon, John Webb, Pulse News.
And coming up in our second look at today's news, the New Democrats come out victorious in British Columbia's provincial election. We'll have the details later in Daybreak News. performance of Manitoba's Public Insurance Corporation has been panned by a national insurance rating agency. Don Smith of Track Insurance Services says the Crown Corporation has failed 6 of 8 tests to assess the claims paying ability of insurance firms. He says if it were a commercial company, he wouldn't invest in it with those results. Track Insurance Services evaluates the financial health of insurance companies. And that wraps up our first look at Daybreak News, but stay tuned. Next on the show, the Canadian Red Cross Society works to make today and tomorrow better for some of the most vulnerable people on the earth. Today we'll find out how that organization helps with international services programs.
Well, Smokey, it seems as though summer is finally here.
And I tell you, our deals are getting hotter by the minute. And with 70 more vehicles on the way, we've got to make room. So if you're looking for an award-winning vehicle, now's the time to come to Binkley Motors.
And with great cars and trucks, you also have great service.
Absolutely. We treat everyone like a friend, not just a customer. By the way, I figured out how to get even for the last time you were here.
Really? How?
Well...
Say goodbye to the work week and hello to Canadian Tire's long weekend sale.
Best time to save on the things that I like to do best. 4 liters of Motormaster Formula 2000 motor oil, just $5.76.
I save 25% on Formula 2001 products, like Super Protectant, tire foam, and wheel cleaner.
Higher temperatures, lower prices. I've got to get to my store before the weekend.
Canadian Tire. Everyday low prices made better.
If your windows aren't becoming to you, you should be coming to us at Springcrest Draperies by Mildred. With their exclusive Springcrest pleat, you can see the difference. Nothing can do justice to the beauty of fabric like the Springcrest pleat. No one has a better assortment of decorative poles than Springcrest Draperies. Many window treatments are exclusive to us in thousands of styles, patterns, and colors. From the free in-home consultation to the installation, everything is done by true professionals who really do care. Springcrest Draperies by Mildred, there really is a difference.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the biggest threat in our area is potholes in the road, but for some countries there's a much deadlier item, and that's landmines. We're going to talk about that today and find out what's being done there and also here to educate people about this problem. I have 2 guests in the studio joining me today. My first guest is Ange Saw. She was with the International, she's the International Coordinator with Red Cross in Manitoba. Ange, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Also, Tanis Nostud, did I say that right? Who is a Priority Programs Coordinator with the Red Cross here in Brandon. Nice to have you here, too.
Hi, Kathy.
Ange, reading through this, I just never imagined that this sort of thing happens. 2 million landmines in places, and every month 2,000 people killed or maimed. Why are these landmines there?
During conflict situations, landmines are used as a military tactic, excuse me, for preventing armies or military personnel from moving forward, moving backwards, sometimes to cut them off. Recently, though, in the last 20 years, landmines have been used more or less to terrorize civilians as opposed to using them for military tactics.
Who is the most susceptible to these landmines?
Women and children, mainly because in countries where most of the landmines are planted, the women and children do the work in the fields and children play in the fields, and they're generally planted in rural areas as opposed to urban centers.
What is the Red Cross Society doing internationally to help these people?
The International Committee of the Red Cross is involved in surgical hospitals, helping those without limbs who've lost their limbs by producing prosthesis and teaching them how to use it. Those are the main things that they're involved in. But the International Committee of the Red Cross would also like to see the ban of the use of landmines in order for us to be able to stop the problem.
Amazing. Tanis, what about here at home? Again, I'd never heard of this problem until I read this information. Are you doing anything here in Manitoba to educate people and to try to help the situation?
Yes, we are, Kathy. We've been already having some displays in the mall at Shiloh, and we'll be in the mall, the Brandon Shoppers Mall in Brandon in the fall, with displays with educational materials. We've also got volunteers going around to schools and some of the community groups giving presentations to educate people about the problem.
Very interesting. And you and I were talking too. How many countries are there in the world that have problems with landmines?
69 countries. It tends to be most in the Asian areas, Africa, South America, and throughout Europe as well. And a lot of the landmines have been there from wars long ago. For instance, like Vietnam. Cambodia has the most landmines, 10 million landmines planted. So it's pretty much worldwide.
Amazing, amazing situation. We've run out of time, but if anyone wants more information, Tanis, can they just call the Red Cross Society as well if they'd like to find out more or try to help the situation?
Right, or if they want someone to come and give a presentation to their group, our number is 729-4970 here in Brandon.
Good, excellent. Thank you both very much for joining us today and giving us that information.
Thanks, Kathy.
And stay with us. Later in the show, we're moving a little closer to home. We're going to talk about water safety. But right now, Ron Thompson is giving us the thumbs down. We'll find out what that means next.
All good things must come to an end, such as the sunny weather. Cloudy skies in the forecast for the next few days, especially on the weekend, and I'll have those details shortly. Stay with us.
Thanks, Ron. And coming up next in second half news, parents in Manitoba will be paying for their children's crimes if the government has its way. Louise has that story and much more next.
Hello, Muriel. It's Grace.
For nearly 90 years, MTS has been there for Manitobans, connecting us through the generations as we've shared the most important moments of our lives.
You're going to be a grandma.
With affordable, reliable service, we've always been there and always will.
Grandma, thank you for the teddy.
MTS, proud past, promising future.
Do you want to say hi? Hello.
The War Amps, helping amputees since the First World War. Today, the War Amps meets the special needs of child amputees. CHAMP provides artificial limbs, financial assistance, counseling, support for parents, and a chance to meet other amputees. What about the future? CHAMP graduates will carry on the tradition of amputees helping amputees with your support of the Key Tag service.
Welcome back to Daybreak News. Parents in Manitoba may be paying big money for crimes committed by their children. Justice Minister Rosemary Beaudry introduced a bill yesterday that would hold parents financially responsible for up to $5,000. Colleen Rajat has the latest.
See, piece of glasses, see?
Joe Garcia has lived in Winnipeg's core area for more than 25 years. A few days ago, his daughter's car was vandalized. Last week, some kids tried to burn down his garage.
Always problems around here.
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And
if Manitoba's Justice Minister Rosemary Beaudry gets her way, parents of kids who cause damage will have to pay up to $5,000. Victims like Joe Garcia will have to go to small claims court to collect.
Make them to pay. If they got, $800 a month, $50 off. Why? You should be, what's your key?
Other people in this crime-ravaged neighborhood also think it's a good idea.
There's a lot of damage going on that's, someone has to pay for it. I mean, the auto pack can't keep covering cars and people can't keep fixing their houses.
Some people see problems with the proposed legislation. William Malcolm is a legal aid lawyer who represents young offenders. He says most of his clients are not from middle-class homes, which leaves him questioning how many parents will be able to pay.
The reality is that it's not going to affect that many people. You can sue anybody, but it's the same as anything else. When you sue them, you have to be able to collect.
The legislation would not apply to wards of Child and Family Services. Colleen Rajat, CBC News, Winnipeg.
An official with the Romanian embassy in Ottawa says his country has issued arrest warrants for the captain and 6 officers of a Taiwanese cargo ship. The vessel is anchored in Halifax Harbor. The 7 officers are accused of murdering 3 Romanian stowaways while en route to Canada. 2 of them were allegedly set adrift in March on an oil drum raft. The 3rd was apparently thrown overboard just a few days ago. The accusations are coming from 8 crew members who deserted the ship on Friday. And in national news today, it doesn't matter how many votes you get, you don't win an election without the most ridings. And that's how things went for Liberal leader Gordon Campbell in BC last night. He got the popular vote but came up short against Premier Glenn Clark's New Democrats in a number of important seats. Terry Molesky has the details.
Glenn Clark has done it. He's revived his party and proved that it's possible to buck the Conservative tide and win. Just.
Boy, was that close or what?
It was so close, in fact, that Clark acknowledged that this was much less than an overwhelming mandate.
For those that did not support us, I want you to know that this is your government as well. I will listen to you and represent your interests.
I want to start tonight by congratulating Glenn Clark.
This was a difficult night for the Liberal leader, Gordon Campbell, who actually won more votes than the NDP, but still won fewer seats.
And remember this, there is no party in British Columbia that has got more votes than the BC Liberal Party.
Indeed, Campbell won nearly 42% of the popular vote to the NDP's 39%. But that did not produce enough Liberal seats, partly because the Reform at 9% had just enough to deny the Liberals some ridings they might have won. Reform leader Jack Weisgerber thanked his supporters for not switching to the Liberals.
Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to acknowledge the Reformers all over British Columbia who hung in there, who didn't capitulate, who didn't sell out, who didn't take a dive, but indeed hung in there, fought the good fight.
But the night belonged to Glenn Clark. While the disunity of his rivals clearly helped, it was Clark who seized the initiative in this campaign, and his success will make him a force to be reckoned with on the national stage. Terry Molesky, CBC News, Vancouver.
And the Space Shuttle Endeavour is back home on Earth. It landed safely this morning at Florida's Cape Canaveral. The 10-day science mission featured the release of 2 test satellites. Canadian astronaut Mark Garneau and the other 5 astronauts also grew pure crystals in space. It was Garneau's 2nd mission in space. And that is all the time we have for Daybreak News today. Thanks for joining me. Daybreak is back after the break. Stay tuned.
This segment of the news was sponsored by Wheat Belt Equipment Limited, your new and used Case IH dealer in Brandon.
Manitoba Baseball has announced plans for an amateur baseball week to be held in June. All the details coming up later on Pulse Sports.
Well, I planted my garden this morning, so I think that it's about time for a little rain, and that will happen on the weekend by the looks of things. Details coming up next.
Protecting our farmers against nature's devastating perils. It's why you need Barker's Crop Hail Insurance. Check out the wide range of services and benefits. Barker's Insurance, Brandon, a Manitoba leader in crop hail insurance.
From McDonald's Arch Deluxe with its grown-up taste to deluxe prizes, you could win big instantly. It's the Deluxe Monopoly game. Deluxe your luck, starting this Friday at McDonald's.
Why would Spider-Man be on a bus?
Because he couldn't get a cab? Because all your favorite superheroes are on their way to McDonald's. There's the Invisible Woman or the web-whipping Spider-Man. One with each Marvel superhero's Happy Meal you buy.
Look, it's the Invisible Woman.
Well, whatever you drive, whatever the size, whatever it is you do, when it comes to quality transmission work, we'll do the best for you. Because we've got qualified people that know transmissions in and out. When you've got transmission trouble, we know what it's about. Count on the experts. Lions Transmission Center. For the best in transmission repair. Lions Transmission Center. 18th Street South in Brandon.
Visit Kathy's Natural Way, the natural approach to health. With certified herbal and nutritional consultation, qualified massage therapy and ear candling, plus a variety of health products. Kathy's Natural Way is the health store with knowledge.
The weather is brought to you by Piccadilly Trailer Sales, Trans-Canada Highway, Brandon. For sales, service, and parts for all your recreation needs, they're your leader in the RV industry.
Well, we saw a great day yesterday, great day today, fine tomorrow, then black for the weekend. What else is new? Let's have a look at the current conditions right now. We have 18 degrees in Brandon, sunny skies, no wind, and the humidity is at 41%. As we take a look at things that grow commonly in my lawn, sunflowers or dandelions. 19 degrees in Wasagamie, 22 Dauphin, Carberry and Pilot Mound with 20 degrees. We have 19 in Melita, Shoal Lake 18. Swan River is 20, 22 Portage, Winnipeg 19. In their surface map this afternoon, we have that ridgeline well to the east of us, as you can see. A southerly flow bringing a very warm air. Daytime highs today 26, but out to the west we do have a system which is forming in Alberta. Starting to move eastward will give us increasing cloud later on tomorrow and a higher probability of some showers and thunder showers, about 60 to 70% late tomorrow night. And then on Friday, Saturday could be a showery day in southern Manitoba. So keep that in mind as we check out some of the vital stats for today. 35.2, the record high in 1988. The record low, minus 5.6, 1947. Here's a normal high, 21, a normal low, 5.0. Yesterday, we squeezed a 24 out of it. And a low this morning, quite nice, 6.1. Sun rose at 5:37 a.m. It sets at 9:38 p.m., giving us 16 hours and 1 minute of available daylight. Here's the forecast in detail for today. Sunny, winds southeast at 20 and 26 degrees will be the forecast high. For tonight, increasing cloud, winds southeast 20, 10 degrees the low, a very mild night, humidity of 80%. Tomorrow, variable clouds, 70% chance of showers or thunder showers late in the day. You'll see the winds out of the southeast at 30 and a daytime high of 26 degrees. The Pulse Weather Watch for Friday, 60% chance of showers, 21 and 7. You'll notice the temperature is starting to cool down on the weekend. Showers on Saturday, 18 and 10, 18 and 9 on Sunday with a 60% chance of showers. So great day today with mainly sunny skies, variable cloud tomorrow as that system starts to approach, and then cloudy for the weekend, the way things are looking right now. Have yourself a good afternoon. Easy does it. And for now, that's the Daybreak weather.
The weather has been brought to you by Piccadilly Trailer Sales, your leader in the RV industry for 33 years.
We have the spread for you at Bonanza, whether it's coffee break time or a meal in itself, like our homemade soup, deluxe salad bar, and dessert corner combination. And don't forget Bonanza's daily lunch specials with all the trimmings. The next time you do lunch, do it the Bonanza way.
Hello, I'm Mariette Hartley for Blinds Are Beautiful. Sometimes you need professional advice. For your window coverings, I recommend the professional decorators at Blinds Are Beautiful, who will come to your home absolutely free. They'll show you all the latest colors, styles, and fabrics that are available and put it all together, creating just the right look for your home. Call Blinds Are Beautiful for your free in-home consultation. They take care of everything, and you'll love the discount prices. Call now and see your home in a whole new light.
Take the Neon Value Challenge and get no-charge air conditioning along with a $500 consumer rebate. And you'll receive dual airbags, side impact beams, a 2-liter 132-horsepower engine, automatic transmission, and a whole lot more. The Neon Value Challenge, now with no-charge air conditioning on top of all these great features for the unbelievably low price of only $14,995 at your local Chrysler dealer.
Welcome back, everyone. Taking a look at the farm market, starting with the hog report from Manitoba Pork in Winnipeg. U.S. sources are calling live hog futures to open steady to lower today, pressured by weaker cash values and follow-through selling. Prices from the Winnipeg Livestock Yard, number 1 sow's dress, $69, number 2, $67.16. Boars and stags reporting in at $39.91 to $43.09. And there was a light offering of cattle today at Heartland due to the fact that most farmers are on the field. Here's a look at the prices.
Good afternoon from Heartland Livestock at Verdun. Jim MacArthur with the noon hour report. Very light sale today. Everybody's in the field getting their sowing done. Wish them the best of luck at that. They end up selling just a little over 400 head here at Verdun today. What we are finding is the market's fairly steady. Where feeder cattle, better quality feeder cattle are showing a little bit of strength. A1 and A2 steers are trading from 68 to 73.75 with extreme sales to 74 1/4. A1 and A2 heifers 66 to 69 with extreme sales to 72.5. D1 and D2 cows are trading from that 46 to 48 with sales to 52, extreme sales to 54, with the D3, D4s trading from 42 to 46. Good bulls this morning, we're trading from 44 to 50, with very muscled bulls, meat bulls trading as high as 52. Feeder cattle, 400 to 600 pound steers are trading from that 74 to 84. 600 to 800 pound steers are trading from 70 to a top of 81. 8 to 1,000 pound steers, 62 to 72. 400 to 600 pound heifers, 65 to 76. 600 to 800 pound heifers are trading from that 63 to 72 with sales to 73.5 breeding type heifers. 8 to 1,000 pound heifers trading from 60 to 69 with extreme sales to 70. I'd like to remind producers that we have a sale every Wednesday here at Verdon. The sale starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. For any marketing information or on-farm inspection, please feel free to call us here at Verdon at 748-2809. Have a good day, good marketing, and good luck in the field. Thank you.
And now's your chance to check out the current grain and oilseed prices.
The farm markets have been brought to you by Cahoot Seed Farms of Souris, providers of quality seed, seed cleaning, and ag supplies and chemicals.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the first week of June has been designated as Water Safety Week, and we're going to give you some tips on keeping your head above water. Two guests joining me today. My first guest is Carla Cleland. She is the Water Safety Chairperson with Red Cross. Carla, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Also, Michelle Bevington, who is the Water Safety Committee member. Nice to have you here, too, Michelle. Carla, I'm going to start with you. A lot of people are opening up their pools, their hot tubs in the backyards. What are some of the things that they need to be thinking about?
Definitely to have all the equipment in place to make sure that your pool is operational, safety equipment. To know the facility in and out. If it's not your own pool, then you have to have a look around and make sure that it is safe for everyone and know the depth, and to have safety procedures and emergency procedures in place in case something should happen.
Is the Red Cross doing anything or offering any type of programs to help people prepare themselves?
This year is a very exciting time for water safety, and we're implementing the new water safety program called Aqua Quest. And it's got more of a focus on the water safety aspect and supervision, inclusion, and injury prevention to try to make more Canadians water safe.
Now, is this a course that you can take, is it a one evening or a 3-week? How does it work?
It's an existing water safety program that's in place right now. It's just the color system, and the colored system is now going to be implemented into levels, including an Aqua Tot program and an Aqua Adults level. So it will take the place of the existing water safety program.
Good, very interesting. What about increasing water and boat safety in the Westman area, in the Brandon area? Is the Red Cross Society doing anything to do that?
Michelle, did you want to answer that?
Well, actually, Carla and I both sit on a committee that has been very busy in that aspect. We have been sending mail-outs to all of the schools with posters and pamphlets to increase the awareness of boating and water safety to the kids. And we're also targeting buildings and places that sell boats so that they can have the materials to hand out to their customers as well. So
that's a good idea. Good idea. You were talking about hitting up the schools, making sure that they're aware. Do you have any programs for younger children or anything to help them become more aware of water safety?
We're continuing again this year with our poster drive. We've had a great response from the kids. It's a great time for teachers to talk about water safety, and the kids can have fun drawing posters. As well, we have people available to do presentations. Should any teachers or community groups want a presentation, they could contact us.
Good idea. Excellent idea. Carla, I'm going to switch this question back to you. I'm not sure which one, but what about the first week of June? It is, of course, Water Safety Week. What kinds of things will be happening?
Well, we want people to start thinking nice and early in the summer season about going out to the cabins, out to their backyard pools, that once they get filled and ready to go, about just recognizing safety is number one, things like safety supervision with adults and toddlers. And a lot of people think that once they're in the water, they're safe, but they're not. They need to be supervised. And just to get people thinking about water safety, in the first week in June, June 6th, 7th, and 8th, we've got a mall display, and that's just promoting water safety and handing out promotional materials.
Carla, do you have any stats or ideas on the situation with water safety? Are you finding that more people are becoming aware and more conscious of being safe, or what's happening with the accident situation? We haven't seen a drastic reduction in the drowning stats. More people are still drowning that shouldn't be, boating-related accidents, males, alcohol-related accidents that just shouldn't be there. One of the major contributors to the drowning stats are the lack of the use of a PFD or a life jacket. And we want to get that education out there and get people to wear the PFDs when they're boating and to try to reduce the drowning stats. Right. I think it all boils down to common sense, but that's a tough one sometimes. Thank you both for joining us. I know that was short, but you gave us a lot of information, and I'm sure if anybody wants to know more about the programs, they can just call the Red Cross Society. That's right. Great. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. And please stay with us. Coming up next, we're going to check out the latest sports scores.
John Van Beesbroek and the Panthers met the Penguins in Pittsburgh on Tuesday, with both teams trying to take control of the Eastern Conference Final. We'll have the highlights after the break. Stay with us.
We interrupt this program for an important color test. This shirt is a bright sunshine yellow. These socks a deep scarlet red. If these colors don't seem right, check your detergent, not your TV. And try Triple Color Guard Cheer, a detergent that over time helps protect cotton clothes against 3 problems combined: fading, running, and buzzing. For these problems combined, all other leading detergents pale in comparison. This concludes our test.
Could we ask you a personal question? Does your breath feel really fresh?
Fresh enough.
What do you mean, fresh?
Is your breath fresh enough to kiss someone?
Well, I brushed.
Not as confident as you thought, huh? If you want really fresh breath, you want Scope. Well, brushing cleans teeth. Scope Plus brushing kills millions more bacteria than brushing alone and leaves your whole mouth feeling clean and fresh. Scope Fresh is kissably fresh, and that's the best kind of fresh your breath can be.
Right now, little Megan isn't thinking about graduating from college, starting a new business, or investing in her province. Her goals are a little closer to home. But with a little help and a plan for the future, her world becomes a brighter place for us all. Manitoba Hydro Bonds, your guaranteed investment in a brighter future. On sale now at 5%.
Welcome back. Well, when the Pittsburgh Penguins skated off with a 2-1 victory over the Florida Panthers on Sunday, they tied the best-of-7 Eastern Conference final at 2 games apiece and turned the series into a best-of-3 affair. Last night, the first game of that series within a series took place in Pittsburgh. And what a surprise, John Van Beesbroek gets the start for Florida. The Beezer had allowed just 8 goals in his previous 5 games heading into Tuesday night action, but it's Barrasso getting some action early on as he stones Brian Scruglin on the breakaway. Midway through the first, the Penguins on the power play, but John Van Beesbroek comes up with some great saves as he stops a couple close-in chances, but he cannot keep them all out. A few seconds later, J.J. Daniel will sneak one through his legs. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh. No rats in Pittsburgh, but there was at least one rat trap. Funny-looking thing, wouldn't you say? Late in the first now, Penguins pressing once again. Lemieux right in front, but again, Van Beesbroek will make the save. More Pittsburgh pressure in the second. This time it's Lemieux finding the iron. Then the Penguins appear to get one. J.J. Daniel's shot beats Van Beesbroek, but it's called no goal, and here's why. Dave Roach will barrel into the Florida netminder. As you see, the goal is disallowed, and a penalty is given to Roach. Eddie Johnson not too happy behind the Pittsburgh bench about that, but this cheers Eddie up, I'm sure. Peter Nedved down the side and gets a Mark Messier-type goal. 2-0 Pittsburgh after 40 minutes. In the third, the Penguins with a chance to ice it. Kevin Miller is sent in all alone, but the Beezer again keeps the puck out. Nice looking save there. Then it's Jaromir Jagr with the breakaway, but you guessed it, John Van Beesbroek comes up big again. The Penguins do add an empty netter later, though. Tom Barrasso keeps Florida off the scoreboard and earns a shutout as Pittsburgh blanks Florida 3-zip, and they take a 3-2 series lead. As for the Western Conference Final, it too sits at 3-2 in Colorado's favor. And the Avalanche with a chance to wrap things up with a victory on home ice tonight. And you'll see Game 6 of the Wings Avalanche series live here on CKX. It begins at 7:30 this evening. Should be a great hockey game. And as the NHL playoffs continue, so do the NBA's. Game 6 of the Western Conference Final last night in Seattle. Now the Sonics trying to put this one away and join the Bulls in the championship series. Seattle with a 3-1 lead in the best of 7. But the fourth, of course, is always the toughest victory to get. As for Jazz fans, they were keeping the hope alive last night, and this three-pointer by Brian Russell certainly helps the cause. Then Jeff Hornacek says, hey, if Russell can do it, so can I. So he does. Hornacek was 16 in the first half alone. That led the Jazz to a 3-point lead at the half. Late in the fourth quarter, Karl Malone goes up for the basket, but Sean Kemp denies him. Game is tied at 90. It goes to overtime, tied at 90. In the extra frame, the Jazz working around beautifully. Hornacek finishes it off. Utah up by 2. This one comes down to the final play in OT. Sonics need a 3 to tie, but Gary Payton will miss. The Jazz beat the Sonics 98-95. Seattle now leads the best of 7 series, 3-2. On to baseball we go, and both the Montreal Expos and Toronto Blue Jays were in action on Tuesday night. We'll begin in Montreal, where the Expos are trying to turn things around as they face the San Diego Padres. Montreal having lost 10 of their last 12 heading in, including their last 4 straight. And we pick it up with the bases loaded for the Expos in the bottom of the second. Pedro Martinez with a shot up the middle. The Padres can get one, but they can't turn the double play. 1 run comes in. It is 1-0 Expos. Martinez having a good outing on the mound. That is until Luis Lopez takes one deep to center. This one is gone. Late in the game, Henry Rodriguez takes one out of the park as well. This guy has been on fire all season long, and here he ties the game at 2 and sends it to extra innings. But unfortunately, in the end, the Padres come through. Montreal loses their 5th straight. 3-2 is the final for San Diego when the winning run comes across home plate. Let's move on to Toronto now for the Jays and White Sox. Chicago up 3-0 in the 4th when Ozzie Guillen sends one to right field. Routine catch for Sean Green, right? But he can't find it. Either can the cameraman. Why? Well, because it's out of the park. It's 4-0 for the Chi Sox. Jays close to the gap to 4-2 before Joe Carter takes one off the hand in the 5th. Carter is down for a while, but he would be okay. 6th inning now, Frank Viola, payback time on Tony Phillips. And that, of course, draws the crowd, but no harm is done. In the 7th inning, the White Sox add a couple more runs. They go on to beat the Jays 8-5 is the final. Well, every year the Canadian Hockey Association sets aside 1 week and designates it Minor Hockey Week, a chance to recognize all the youngsters that play the sport. Well, the Manitoba Baseball Association liked the idea so much. On Tuesday, they announced plans for a Minor Baseball Week to be held in June. Sean Churchill has more.
Or be it known that I, on behalf of the Honorable Jim Ernst, Minister of Fitness and Sport, do hereby proclaim the week of June 9th through 16th, 1996 as Amateur Baseball Week, and June 16th, 1996 as Amateur Baseball Day in Manitoba, and do commend its thoughtful observance to all.
It may only be 1 week, but for the Manitoba Baseball Association, they feel it's the perfect way to promote the game of baseball as the #1 summer sport for kids in Manitoba.
We find that what's happening is there's more opportunities for kids getting involved in amateur sport at all different levels and all different types of competitions. And we really felt that we owed it to our membership to try and provide the best quality programs that we could. And to do that, we wanted to try to raise the profile of the game, to get more people involved, to get more sponsors involved, and just really create a higher awareness for amateur baseball.
Minor baseball is not just a way to keep kids active. It's something, you know, we want them out, we want them doing something, we want them doing something constructive. But it's also, I think, a very important way to teach kids how to interact with other kids, how to interact with different situations, the situations where, hey, maybe they're not going to win all of the time, those type of things. And by able to promote that continually, by able to teach them some new skills, teach them some new life skills, Minor Baseball Week really ties in.
Throughout the province, it's a week's worth of activities from the Hit, Run, and Throw program, Hit-a-thons, and for the Brandon Grails, it's their chance to give back with a 2-for-1 ticket promotion on Father's Day.
It's been a really good response. We're very fortunate that the people of Manitoba have embraced it. All the regions are planning different events. They're planning their Hit, Run, and Throw events, father-son games, that kind of thing. They've been really embracing it, and I think it's going to turn out to be a good week.
And for Scott Halady, the Brandon Grails second baseman, he's excited about the week after being named as the honorary Baseball Week patron.
To me, it's very important because, I mean, when I was a young kid, there was always people out helping me, and whether it was through the Brandon Cloverleafs bringing their imports out to help us out with practice, or whether it was my father, or like I said, the Neil Andrews, or whoever it was, they were always out helping me, and it got me to the point where I am now. And I feel that now that I'm at a point of playing professional baseball, I should give something back to the community.
In Brandon, Sean Churchill, Pulse Sports.
And now we'll complete the baseball portion of our sports package by taking a look at local scores from Tuesday. Let's move on to the tennis court now, and play continued at the French Open in Paris on Tuesday. First round action saw a variety of big names involved in the action, including Jennifer Capriati, who was playing her first Grand Slam event in 3 years. But Capriati has her problems. Watch this. She has a wide open court, but her volley goes off the net and out. That's something I'd do. Not surprising Capriati would lose and be eliminated from competition. Jing Quang Yi of China downing Capriati in straight sets. Steffi Graf also in action on Tuesday. The co-number 1 seed has little trouble disposing of her first opponent. Graf eliminating Larissa Nieland in straight sets. On the men's side, defending champion Thomas Muster came away victorious, as did Michael Chang and Goran Ivanisevic. And finally, John Hay, a 16-year-old gymnast from Brandon, is currently competing at the National Gymnastic Championships. And after the first round, John currently sits second among the 24 competitors. And that is going to do it for a look at sports for right now. Enjoy your Wednesday and stay with us. Kathy will be back after the break. And at that time, she will be filling us in on the Watch program, as well as giving us details on the Kiwanis Car Derby.